Let's talk about 5 products I wish that I knew about when I started this hobby. Starting this hobby can be expensive and confusing. There's a lot of products out there, all claiming they can help you with this or with that and help improve your end result. I fell into the trap of buying and trying most of them. Today I'm going to help you avoid that. I started out with a set of hobby files, as you'll see a lot of people using. I found them too hard and too inflexible for the scale of models that we work on, with the firm metal edges sometimes leaving gouges and marks in unwanted places. Then one day, whilst looking around my local scale modelling shop, I came across these flexible sanding sticks. They are basically like mini nail files, which are super thin and super flexible, allowing them to get into even the hardest to reach parts of the model. They come in various grits, letting you work your way up through them for a smooth finish. Most people will start out with the Games Workshop version or something similar, and to be honest, they're totally fine and will get the job done. The issue with these types of glues though is the metal nozzle used to apply them. It's difficult to be highly accurate and just apply a tiny amount of glue, so you'll often get excess glue around small, delicate joints which can melt the plastic and fill in or obscure the detail. The nozzles will also often get blocked with dried glue after you've finished an assembly session. What I use now is Tamiya Extra Thin Cement. It's cheaper than Games Workshop glue per milliliter, which is a great start, but it also has a brush-on applicator, allowing you to be very precise when using it. Because it's so thin, it actually runs deep into the joints, giving you a stronger overall bond. Another thing that I use it for, and this is a bonus tip, is for smoothing out surfaces after sanding them, and for running over smaller mould lines in places that might be hard to sand, like across fingers or faces. As plastic cement works by essentially melting the plastic, you can use small amounts to melt down rougher surfaces and re-level them. No one ever tells you how messy this hobby is. After you've finished snipping models off sprues, scraping off the excess plastic, and sanding down the mould lines, your desk will be covered in plastic shavings and dust. It's not always practical to keep the house vacuum in your hobby space, or to keep going back and forth to get it every time that you're building models. So a few months back, I invested in a mini, rechargeable vacuum. There's various models around, ranging in price and features. I picked up this model from Anker. It charges via USB and takes up very little space. It just sits in my desk drawer until I'm ready to use it, and I found myself just tidying up as I go, and it's really helped me to keep my workspace tidy. I find that a tidy workspace helps me with my focus and motivation. So although it might sound like a bit of a strange suggestion, especially when compared to other hobby product tips you might get, it's something that's definitely worked for me. If you're finding these tips useful, I'm putting similar lists together for painting and for crafting, so make sure you subscribe to catch those when they're released. There's 2 main types of superglue, thick and thin, and they're exactly what they say they are. Thin is runny and thick is more like a gel. Thin is great for saturating bases and materials, but not so great for attaching model parts together or for tasks where a quick setting time is required. That's where the thick version comes in, along with the activator. I mainly use it for attaching magnets to bases and also for temporarily attaching models to painting handles. The activator makes the glue bond quickly, saving you from getting glue-covered fingers as you try and balance pieces in place. But it isn't the strongest of bonds, which makes it very easy to snap the model off when the time comes to attach it to its final base. Paint handles are something that have really picked up in popularity over the last couple of years. I own a few and they're great tools. They make the painting process easier and stop you from accidentally rubbing paint off as you work your way around the model. But when you're starting out, do you really need to pay out for a bunch of them? Or could that money be saved to spend on other things, such as more models or more paints? I came across an idea when clearing out my garage one day. I found some leftover timber from an old DIY project. This was about 3 centimeters square, so cutting that length into 6 centimeter sections gave me a bunch of paint handles for next to nothing. They are nice to hold in the hand, and models are simple to attach using blue tack, superglue, or you could even magnetise the tops of the handles if you magnetise your model bases. A 2.4 metre length of this is around £6 in the UK, and with a little bit of elbow grease, it will give you 40 painting handles. That's about the same price as one from Games Workshop. You can't ask for more than that. So, there's my top 5 products that I think new hobbyists should look out for. If you've got any thoughts, comments or suggestions, please drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, catch you in the next one.